Lloyd from Illinois.
Yes, Joe. In 1972, I was aboard a nuclear Polaris submarine with 24 individual missiles. By the time I left the service, each one of those individual missiles had been converted to where it was capable of carrying 7 missiles. So that's
7 times
missiles,
24.
7 times 24 on one nuclear-powered submarine.
On one vehicle, on one vessel.
Exactly. That in and of itself was enough to destroy the world, that one vehicle.
That one vessel.
We have several nuclear boomers in our arsenal.
What are boomers?
Boomer is the nuclear Polaris missile submarines. That's what they call them, boomers. Well, Russia also has numerous missile submarines. China has many nuclear submarines, missile submarines. Just the submarine fleet of these countries alone has the power to destroy this world 25 times over.
Now,
just the submarines.
Just the submarines. So that doesn't even count the Air Force, which
exactly.
So the bombers, number 2.
Yeah, you wouldn't even have to use the land-based missiles.
And then you added just the third, the land-based missiles. And then the president of the newly elected president hasn't even been 100 days. And then he makes that pronouncement yesterday. I've played it 3 times. And you know what? But God, thank you for your call. Thank you for your call. Thank you, because again, you never know who's listening to the Madison show. I've never served on a submarine, and here's a man who called and says, "Brother, I was in the freaking submarine with these missiles. I know what they will do." And let me ask you this question: if you're allowed to, are you retired now?
Yes.
Now, if you can't talk about certain things, fine. What was, if in case of an attack, a nuclear attack, and you had to deploy those missiles, give me what the human attitude is. In other words, what were y'all told? Where were you to go? What were you to do? What would your do you understand what I'm trying to say here? Because you're in a submarine. Now all of a sudden they're off, and now you come. Now what? So what happens? Am I making sense with this question? What kind of world? What did they tell you was the kind of world you would be exposed to?
Well, Joe, when we slept next to those missiles, we all knew that should they ever be called into action, we would have no place to go. We were positioned, all submarines are positioned in strategic locations throughout the waters of the world, so that we would be most effective should we ever be called to launch the missiles. And everybody that had that duty on board the submarines knew that the day that we had to launch one of those missiles, the world as we know it was gone. And even though we would probably be the last people to survive because we would be underwater, we knew that there would be nothing for us to return to. And it was a part of a duty that you did in defense of your country, but you hoped like hell you never, ever saw one of those buttons pressed.
And to hear this man, I got to tell you, and we're hearing what you just said, and then to hear this from the commander-in-chief.
It would be wonderful. A dream would be that no country would have nukes. But if countries are going to have nukes, we're going to be at the top of the pack.
Unbelievable.